Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk specifically about Cry Macho. And Cry Macho is a Dungeons & Dragons... actually, we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We're going to talk about Cry Macho. And why are we going to talk about Cry Macho? Well, Cry Macho is a really, really interesting movie. And I think it's every Dungeon Master content. And now, why is it every Dungeon Master content? It's a good question. Because of questing. Questing is something that we deal with in Dungeons & Dragons. And I think, and here's the issue, right? Everybody understands questing at the basic level, right? But we need refreshers, right? If we're really going to take our game to the next level, we need to think about every element in the game at that next level step, right? And Cry Macho deals with questing very, very specifically. And because it's not a fantasy story, I feel like it lets us see questing in a deeper, more specific level. So let's talk about it. All right, so first of all, the Cry Macho movie, when it deals with questing, it really highlights some special things. So let's dig into this. All right, so first of all, in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, when we quest somebody, it's usually like the king's like, go slay that dragon, all right? But when you look at Cry Macho, that's what I wanted to say. Spoilers for Cry Macho. By the way, what is Cry Macho? Cry Macho is a brand new for-realsy movie, right? It released this weekend, right? And it went into theaters, but it also simultaneously released on HBO Max, and you could watch it for free. And just to be clear, I watch every single one of these films. Doesn't matter what they are, because I realize these are historical events. This has never happened before, where, there's a streaming service and they're like, hey, we just dropped this in the movies today, but we're also trying to destroy the movie theater industry simultaneously, and you can watch it at home, right? And people who make candy and people who scoop up popcorn and people who make furniture that go into thousands of theaters across, they can go die in a lake. We're it's crazy. We're in such a strange time, right? I have no idea why any movie industry, would be in the business of tearing movies to the ground. It's bizarre. I just truly am the times we live in are shocking. They're just shocking, right? But the other thing is, I'm part of the problem too, right? If I have, there's a specific genre I absolutely love, and that is expensive and new, right? If it costs a lot of money to make and it's brand new, I want to see it, right? And then if it's free, to me, even more, right? So I'm part of the problem because I'm it's crazy. So anyway, Cry Macho is a real movie from Clint Eastwood. Yeah, that Clint Eastwood, right? And he's just starring as the male lead. You're like, geez, he's got to be 80. It's nuts. It's crazy, right? But this is it's a neo-Western, right? So it's a new Western, right? And so here's what happens in Cry Macho. And it's a quest. It's like quest. And because it's not in fantasy realm, you could just see all these beautiful facets of questing more clearly. All right. So Clint Eastwood plays a horse trainer, okay? Someone who trains, who brings up thoroughbred horses, right? So he's for realsies cowboy, for realsies modern day cowboy. This movie takes place in today, right? And so he plays a cowboy who's past his prime. First of all, he used to train winners. Now he trains losers. And now he had an accident and he's on a lot of pain reliever pills. I can't believe we're still glorifying, pain relief through, pill addiction, but this movie definitely does it. And so they're like, hey, he's awesome. He just happens to be a pill addict, right? You're like, okay, let's keep going, right? And so so basically he's this cowboy, and the person who owns the ranch where he works fires him. A year later, the ranch owner comes to him and says, listen, I have a son, And and basically I went down to Mexico. I had a good time. I met his mother. We had one night together, and that night is over, but I now have a son. He's lived all his life in Mexico. I saw him, last time I saw him he was like 6 years old. Now he's 13 and he's living in Mexico, and I've been hearing that he's having a hard time down there, and I want you to go down there and get him and bring him back, right? And immediately Clint Eastwood was like, I ain't doing that, right? Like, he's like, that's a terrible idea for 55 different reasons. One, why don't you go get him? He's your son. And the guy's like, well, here's the issue, right? I got legal problems down in Mexico. I can't go in and out of Mexico. They will like stop me at the border and imprison me, right? So I can't go down, right? Two, his mom he's been down there with his mom because things are going well, but I know for a fact from stories are getting back to me, things are not going well right now. So I need to get him out, right? And Clint Eastwood's like, again, this is a terrible idea. I don't want to go down there, right? And he's like, listen, you're a cowboy. He loves cowboy life. He's gonna, and you are real deal cowboy, and you don't need to tell anybody you're a cowboy. They'll see it, and he's going to see it, and he's going to follow you just because of who you are. He will follow a cowboy because he desperately wants to be a cowboy, right? And so the guy's like, and so this is great, all right? So you have a quest giver and you have a questee who doesn't want to take the job, who doesn't want to take the quest, right? Now, what I'm really fascinated about is what you learn when you look at this story. So this is a traditional quest, right? So first of all, Clint Eastwood's like, and then finally the guy says, listen, you owe me, man. You've been living here for about a year. I fired you a year ago, but I kept paying the mortgage on this house just to give you a little bit more time to get on your feet. And also, I was your boss for like 20 years and things were good. You owe me, and I'm not asking you to do this for free. I'm going to pay you, right? I'll pay you a good wage. So I need you to do this. And so Clint Eastwood's like, yes, I will do it. He accepts the quest. First of all, that's another thing. Like, you put a quest in front of somebody, and you're going to have to and there's a negotiation for whether they take the quest or not. There's a lot there. There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of adventure. There's a lot of cool aspects of that, right? And this movie shows it, right? So one of the things that I thought was fascinating is there's two different envelopes that are given to Clint Eastwood. One, first of all, he says, listen, I'll take care of you when this is all done, right? And so he does promise to pay him, right? But then, in addition to that, he's like, okay, you're going on your quest, and you're going to a foreign land, right? So the quest giver says, what you need is a map, right? When you get down there to look for him, you're going to need this map of the town to find the boy, right? So he gives him a map, and he gives him a big, fat envelope of money. And he's like, this is not your pay. This is just the resources for you to get there and get this job done, right? So you know what tools you need. You know what So this is just the cash for you to use to quest. And I thought, that's brilliant, right? So when our adventurers get quested, I do this. I do this all the time. The questers should provision the questee, right? They should give them a map. They should give them information. They should give them gold, right? And give them and prepare them for the quest that's about to happen, right? It's more than transactional, right? Quests aren't like, if I go into the Wawa to buy blueberry coffee, that's transactional. Quests are more than that. They're more than transactional. And this was just so clear when I was watching Cry Macho, right? So then there's the journey to the quest activity, right? So, Clint Eastwood actually has to travel down to Mexico. This isn't even the quest. Like, the journey, some things can happen on the journey down, right? But then you get to the point where you actually need to do the thing, right? So Clint Eastwood gets down there, he encounters the mother, and there, and there's interaction back and forth. And then Clint Eastwood finds out the kid is actually doing cockfighting, which is like fighting with roosters, right? So, which is highly illegal, I think, everywhere in the world. And so, he goes to this cockfighting ring, right? And actually finds the boy, and then tells the boy, "I want to take you back," right? And the boy's like, "I don't want to go back. My dad's a jerk," right? And so he has to convince, the kid, "Hey, you're 100% right. Your dad is a jerk, and your dad's just trying to do the right thing now, right? And if you go back, you get your own horse, You'll be on the ranch. You'll get to, there's 200 horses there. You'll get to help with raising all the horses, and so he has to do the extra thing to get the quest going, right? Then the boy's like, bet, let's go, right? Now Clint Eastwood has to get him back, right? And of course, on the journey back, the mother decides she doesn't want the boy to go, right? And but Clint Eastwood finds some information that like the boy really should go up. It should, like, the mother by her own admission has not been parenting the child, right? The kid's living on the streets because it's safer on the streets than it is at home, right? You're like, whoa, that's bad, right? So then Clint Eastwood has to journey back, right? His vehicle is stolen when he's journeying back. He has to disguise himself so he doesn't look like such a gringo. That's what they say in the film. And there's just this journey back, right? And I think a few things more about questing that I learned from Cry Macho. There's an IRL challenge, right? So one of the things is who gets quested, right? And this is deep. Like, listen to this. The people who get quested are the people who have skills, the people who have the juice to do the thing, right? So if you don't have no skills, you ain't going to get quested, right? If you're going to be the questee in life, if people are going to come to you and say, I got a quest I need you to do, they need to know you're going to be persistent, right? They need to know that you are going to be able to get over obstacles, have agency, right? And you have your own independent power. You can travel back and forth. You can overcome whatever obstacles are there. You are going to be persistent. You are going to keep your word, and you have a set of skills, right? All this is critically important, and it's shown so much in the movie. And I was like, I want to be a person who can be quested. And when I thought about it, I've already been quested, right? Like one of the things that happened about a year ago was they were like, we know you've been doing the slides at church. Can you be the tech lead for the entire church? Right? And they quested me. They're like, we need you to do this for a long time, and we need to up the whole game. Like, everything's got to get improved, right? And, there are other things where people will come and say, a buddy of mine is like, hey, man, I've been questioned multiple times over the last 2 years, right? And I have built, I think people see me as persistent, as I'm going to do what I say, as having a useful set of skills, right? Now, I would like to go on the dragon quest. So I got to keep getting skills. I got to keep being persistent. I got to keep being honest, right? But I just was really fascinated by this idea of who gets quested. Well, you got to be persistent. You got to be honest. You have to have useful skills, right? And then I thought, I know people who don't, right? And I know people who are making choices in life where they're not gathering skills. They're not persistent. They're not honest, right? And I'm like, how are you ever going to be quested, right? Like, and so, now I don't say that to them because I don't want to hurt their feelings, but if they ever ask, I'm ready to give it to them, and I just was really, really fascinated. And also, when we quest others, are we given the map? Are we given the gold, right? If you put somebody on a quest, you best be ready, prepared to give them what they need. That's proper questing, right? So I was just, when I looked at this, like, Cry Macho is a beautiful, beautiful film that looks at a fantasy quest from a modern perspective. And if you're a dungeon master and you want to know more about quests, what is the shape of quests? What does, how are quests... Well, the other thing is, do we recognize when we are quested in life? Do we recognize that when sometimes what we're asking is a quest, right? Some things are short and transactional. Some requests we have for other people are a quest. Do we even recognize when we're asking so much, when we're saying, I need an independent, strong, capable person who's going to be persistent, who's going to keep their, keep their word and is going to get the quest done, right? Do we know when we're questing others? Do we know when we are quested, right? Cry Macho is really, really fantastic. I highly recommend this movie. I also just really think that we should be, ready and capable and able to really think carefully about the different elements in Dungeons and Dragons. And sometimes there are pieces of art that have nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons that are absolutely every Dungeon Master content. I've never seen a film that's so beautifully sketched, you know, the pure elements of a quest, and really just dealt with quests in a way that really brought new light to what they are, and also, you know, challenged us in IRL as far as questing. All that's my opinion. Are you a Clint Eastwood fan? Did you see this movie? How do you deal with quests do you make sure that you're giving the map and you're giving the gold when you're questing your player characters? What do you do to make quests spectacular in your game? I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.